Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Torin Crosell, and you're seeing the IPWF review of 2019, and I can't. You can see it in my face. I'm sorry, guys. Look. I can't stop laughing. I gotta admit, there's some stuff going on that you're gonna find out about in the next couple of days. I think in a few days you'll see a video about it. So I have not been very good condition up here, but this show just made my ass crack to hell up. It was so damn funny. I'm sorry. I tried to do Howard Cosell. I tried to make this really mean something. I can't because it's too funny. Look, they decided to do a throwback. As they said, Throwback Tuesday. I don't know how long I'm going to do this, if this is just one episode or we're going to see this for the entire end of November into December and they go back to the regular programming in January. I actually would think, and I'm kind of hoping they do this, that this show is from going into December all the way into the end of January, just to mix it up. Comparing the impact of how it used to be a long time ago compared to WWE now, this show was the most funniest damn thing you could watch. Hands down. This is just my point of view, my humble point of view. You can always tell me I'm wrong as stink, but it was so damn funny that I couldn't stop cracking up. Seeing Don Callis and Josh Mathews dressed up, and it was funny, man. I'm sorry. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to get the names right. I could not remember all the names that were used here. I didn't hear them all because I was laughing too damn much. But I will tell you what I saw and how I felt. The opening of the show, you have, what was it? Rip Razor versus... Why? Why did Rick Swann come out with no shoes on, just flip-flops? Rapid Delivery Pete. It was beyond stupid. Now, it was interesting seeing Ace Austin in a different persona, coming out smoking a damn cigarette, acting like a damn punk rocker, and weirdly enough, it fits him. You know, if he changed his persona without the smoking, I don't have a problem smoking, but this day and age where it's politically correct not to smoke, you know. If he just came out as a punk rocker or something like a throwback, it would actually work. Rick Swann as Rapid Delivery Pete just didn't seem... He worked it, and I enjoyed the character, but he is Rick Swann. I'd rather see him as Rick Swann. But Ace Austin as the punk rocker, I actually would go for it. That is so stupid. The match is not the point. Pete wins, but it's not the damn point about how the match was. Even though it was a damn funny match. It was. Seeing Rick Swann try to do a match barefoot. He's not a barefoot wrestler. He just isn't. Doesn't mean he's done it. He just doesn't look right. I enjoyed it. It was funny. Let's move on. D-Deaners as the hard workers. I think I'm going to put a lot of these images in my face. I ain't going to put them in a corner. They're going in my face. Forget this mess. When it comes down to it, that was just funny. But you know what was really cool? You have the, what was it called? What were they called? The Offensive Force. I believe that's what they're called. The Offensive Force? No. What was it? Yeah, I think the Offensive Force of Dino Brown and Fallah Bob. Let me ask you a personal question, guys. You've been wanting big guys to be in the tag team division and it looked good. I'm sure one of you or most of you have thought about it. Do you actually think not having these guys as big guys would work? They tried to look like the Wild Samoans mixed with the Road Warriors with the paint. That was funny as hell. And seeing Dino Brown can still cut a promo. Fallah Bob, when he's not doing Bob, can talk and he does a great promo. I admit, I want to see Fallah Bob with a big guy that's nearly his size or bigger than his size work in the freaking ring. And it makes me miss KM, honestly. I miss KM. But seeing Dino with him, I'm like, I want to see Dino with him more. I know it would not work for very long. I mean, I don't think Dino wants to go in the ring anymore, just once in a while, special occasions. But once you saw the hard workers working with the offensive force, it was like... I don't know what it was about this show that made me laugh my ass off. It wasn't the fact that it was just old school 80s stories, and it was promos that were silly and vignettes that were silly. I think that they just went there and made it so ridiculously funny. It was fun. Now, if you see my NWA Power review, that is a show that is clearly catering to old school wrestling, and they make it serious. Flat out serious, that is what it is. And I love it. It's not that I love old school wrestling. It's that I want to make sure that the wrestlers on that show are over. They're not given too many gimmicks. They're not scripted so much that you don't give a damn about them. They don't have 100% high flying or restricted high flying. They just do the job. Here, they're a parody. And that parody wasn't about being like slugs in the ring. It was about old school wrestling made fun of and made fun. And I think that's the reason why I was laughing my head off. And when it came down to it, hard workers won, which I didn't want to see. I wanted to see offensive force win. Because it was actually fun to see Dino Brown back in the ring, barefoot with Falaba, doing the... It was just fun. Now, if you guys are not enjoying my video that I'm laughing my ass off, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep laughing. Because when it comes down to it, I want to do these videos not just to share something that I love, but to have fun. And a lot of times, I see so many wrestling reviewers tend to forget this is meant to be fun. It's not just meant to be a job where you make some money and you give your opinion. This is meant to be fun. And this is one of these rare times that something can give you joy and make you laugh beyond stink. So if you guys you really want a real review, you're going to have to find someone else. Because I'm just going to have fun and laugh my ass off. We got Johnny Swinger going up against a jobber. I can't remember his name. It was... I think the thing that got me wasn't about Johnny Swinger being put over by the commentator team and seeing Don Callis in blonde hair and Josh Mathews pretty much with a cigar saying that he is what is his father's name, Janabi. I mispronounced his name. I'm forgetting. I'll probably remember later, so sorry. But it was the commentator in this particular match. The commentating was fun. It's not that these guys are any different than they are before. They were botching their words. Don is just Don. He's having more fun here. When it comes to Josh, not everyone's going to like Josh. I'm not always into Josh, particularly if he's acting like a good guy, and I'd rather see him as a bad guy. But here they kept doing 80s references. They started talking about the Atari, man. Saying they're going to be putting new music on an Atari game. Really? By the late 80s, the Atari was dead and it was Nintendo. Why did you go to the Atari? This wasn't like 70s, 80s wrestling, wasn't it? I don't know what it was. Was it 1970s wrestling or 1980s wrestling? And then at the end of that match, when it was over and Swinger won, the thing that got me, that was the most incredible revelation. He said, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new piece of technology that's amazing, and it's the instant replay. And I'm going like, now I know this is the 60s. Oh my gosh, they trying to make instant replay, which it was done in the 80s. We know this. It was done in the 90s. We know this. But in the 70s or 60s, I don't think they did it much. But seeing this, and they trying to play up instant replay, just like, that was a nice touch. The vignettes, the thing that you guys are going to like. You get the vignettes with the Chris brothers. I think they're the Surfers. Then you get Wiz with his own vignette. A short one, less than a few seconds long, which I wish AEW would do. I'm kind of hoping someone from AEW, yes, this is a parody, but did you see what they did within 10 to 20 seconds? They did a parody vignette. Come on. If they can do a parody vignette, why can't you do a real vignette or a real short promo on AEW less than 10 to 20 seconds? Come on. You can't do it? Ay. Anyway, who was it? You got vignettes from... you didn't get an Ace Austin vignette, but you did get a Wiz vignette. You got a Dez vignette. You got Awesome Kong with, I don't know who that was. I think that was Josh Alexander again. Because Josh Alexander was there. And I think he was dressed differently. So I don't remember who it was. It's a big boy. I don't remember. You can see them in my face. You guys can tell me who it was. Because he's wearing a wig and a hair. Just can't remember who it is. With that mustache and hair, it's just not coming to me. I know it sounds stupid, but I just can't remember. Rhino as Frank the Butcher. Dude, that one was an interesting one. I went to Andre Colbert's channel, and when he advertised this, I saw Tommy Dreamer. And Tommy Dreamer was dressed up talking about he's going after Dusty. He's going after Ollie. He's going after... all those except for Hulk Hogan. He didn't go to Hulk Hogan. And I think he was going after superstar Billy Graham, saying pretty much, I am sick and tired of being dodged and being forced out. I'm coming after everybody. I'm done with this. I'm coming after all of y'all. I'm coming after you. It was just... this was fun. Now, what we had next was Jazzy, and that's Madison Rayne, Jazzy the Fit Body versus the Beer Heart. I can't remember who it was. And it looked like Alyssa who was Beer Heart, and obviously it was Madison Rayne. And then you had Jimmy Jacob as, what was it? Sebastian Baker. I can't remember. I think it was Sebastian. I can't be sure. You guys can tell me below. They didn't really say their names very long enough for me to get to it. But he was at ringside because he wanted to give the Jazzy... he wanted to give her a contract, and she's been ducking him. She pretty much destroys the beer heart. She really fits as a aerobics instructor. She just looks like one. She honestly looks like an aerobics instructor, and it fit her. It was just like certain characters always fit somebody if you give it to them. Look what happened with Ace Austin. He looks like a punk rocker. It would work with him smoking, going into the ring. Seeing that Madison Rayne look like a fitness girl, I mean, it works. She looks like a fitness instructor. She won. When it comes to I believe his name was Sebastian Baker. He said, I've been watching you. I've been seeing you, and you are what I need in my staple. Sign this. You won't regret it. But you will regret it if you don't. She signs it and then hits him in the gonads with her knee. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch that in time. But she tears up the contract and leaves the ring. I'm fine with it. It really felt good. Now, here was something that I'm sure a lot of you are not going to be fond of. Intergender 4-on-4 tag match, where they got women against guys. Alright guys, look. I know you're not fond of how things have been going with women, particularly when it came to, look, I'm the first one to say, Tessa has not been booked properly. This storyline should have ended months ago. But I had to put that aside 100% to look at this match with the Rough Riders and 4 horsewomen. They are basically doing the parody of the Horsemen. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. Of course, I believe it was Nicole. What is her name? Tia Nicole? I'm trying to remember her name. I'm not exactly sure. I forgot. She tried to talk. She kind of botched it a little bit. When it came to Havoc, no, she sounded good. When it came to the wonderful, the glorious, the Jordan Grace, she just felt like she could just break you in half. And then you got the one who's with the title. The one that is, well, the 2 titles. The one that's the title, that is, of course, the Tessa Blanchard, who's basically playing her dad, Telly. She did her job. Was it great? I think she needs to grow into it. If they do this more often, if they keep up the Impact Provincial Wrestling Federation, if they keep doing this, I feel she'll really fit into the telly position. I do believe it. So when we had this match, you got pretty much, you had, Josh Alexander played the Timber. You got Diz playing the Gymnasium. You got Diz and you got Wiz playing, what was it? Dell and Stark. No, I think it was Wiz who was playing Struck or Stark. And he was like a racing car driver. He can't go slow. He must go fast. He must go fast. And you got the girls coming in the ring. And almost forgot. During the promo, they were pretty much hamming up how much of a sex symbol all of them are. And when it came to Havoc, I almost forgot what Havoc. She's saying, you're going to come into our hole and, well, not that many words, but pretty much, we are all that you want. The door is open for anyone to see the sex symbols of the galaxy. She didn't say it like that, but that's how it felt. Essentially, we have a 4 men versus 4 women match, which was not bad. It was never meant to be serious. It was meant to be funny. In the end, the Rough Riders win. Is that going to make everybody happy? No. Because I'm sure a lot of people who watch this, they don't want to see more women get over guys because the way women have been booked. But see it in this respect. This is an 80s to 70s parody of professional wrestling. That's what it is. See what it is. It's a parody. Is it meant to make you happy for those who remember how wrestling was like that? Yes. For me, it was just damn funny. It wasn't that it was meant to be great wrestling. It wasn't great wrestling. It was funny wrestling. And that's what I enjoyed. The $3,000 challenge. You have the $300,000 man with Congo Kong. Oh my gosh. He said, last week I gave a jabroni a chance to get $2,000. Here's $3,000. It's a $3,000 challenge. Whoever can lift my Congo Kong, and he uses the actual name. He doesn't use another name. He lets Congo Kong be Congo Kong. That's actually a very wise thing because they had Kabbalah back then. It works fine. So, you got one guy, I don't recognize him. He's probably one of the wrestlers from Calgary or anywhere around the area of Canada. He tries to lift up Congo Kong, he gets his butt kicked. And then you got Muscle McGee. He's in my face. Why would you call Brian Cage Muscle McGee? Muscles McGee. What? You might as well call him Muscles McLeod. Of the Clan McLeod. The man who's got muscles that will last forever. Hey, there's a good name. Muscle McLeod. Of the Clan McLeod. Highlander reference. If you've never seen Highlander, look it up. You always love it. Anyway, in the end, Muscle McGee does lift him up. He slams him. He takes the bag. And then they leave. Now, we got the moment that was the opening of the show. No, not the opening of the show. It was, how can I explain this? You got Ice, the Iceman, who was throughout the show, which I did enjoy him. He wasn't that bad. Then, at one part of the show, you finally get the constant champion, the International Commonwealth Television Champion, the top of the top. Ethan Page actually looks like if this was back in the 80s, he would fit. Wearing the glasses. You see them in my face. You see a Jim Cornette / Bobby the Brain Heenan in a Sami Callihan. That's what you see. This is what you get. He is basically, he gives off a feeling of Bobby the Brain Heenan, but more of Jim Cornette. That's what I was getting. More Jim Cornette than Bobby the Brain Heenan. But Bobby was there. He was giving homage to Bobby, but he was mainly playing a Cornette character. And they were about to go, they're going at the end of the show, I'm not doing it now, but the end of the show, you got downtown, what was his name? I'm sorry. I just did so much I'm trying to remember. Downtown Dada Brown and Willa Mack. I had to say this here because it deserved to be separate from the actual match. But it was so funny. Then, the next thing that cracked me up, that was really good. You got, Joystick. I can't remember what the first name was. And that's Joey Ryan versus DJ Long. What was his name? DJ, Too Long. There you go. DJ Too Long. And at the side of a Joey Ryan, the Joystick is the Mile High Miss. Well, or is it Mile High Lady? What was it? Miss Mile High, I'm sorry. Miss Mile High in a Kiera Hogan. You know what? She fits that. She should be someone's manager. She should be a manager right now. I'm not saying I don't like her in the ring. I'm being honest here with Kiera Hogan. I do like her in the ring. She's really good. But you know what? I want to see if she can be a manager. I want to see if she can pull off a character. I want to see if she can ham it up. And you got the match between the two. And this was last week. Not this week's IPWF episode. It was last week. And pretty much you got that match. And at one point you got DJ Too Long ready to do a chop. Oh my goodness. I hope I didn't wake up the neighbors. Giving a chop to Joystick, to his genitals, and he almost broke his hand. He hit him in his genitals, and he's going, "Ah, what is that damn thing made of?" It was funny. In the end, it was Too Long who won. Now, after that, they had a segment in the cockpit. It's in my face. Where pretty much he's cutting a promo with Miss Mile High, saying, you know what, I'm bringing to the cockpit the guy who beat me last week, and it is DJ Too Long. And he's there in an old Run DMC hat that he used when he laid out the Joystick. And it was, I really hope they do this to the end of the year, because I want to see some more episodes of this ridiculousness. It's so funny. I know these guys must have cracked up laughing doing this. But if you're going to see it for what it was, it's setting up for their match, where pretty much Joystick is mad that he got disrespected, that his woman that by his side seems to be getting smitten by Mr. Too Long, and he tries to lay him out, but it doesn't work. He gets hit in the face, he slams into Miss Mile High, and then he takes the tray that had the drinks that she was holding and whacks him on the head and knocks him to the ground. I enjoyed that. That was simple, straight to the point, something you can build on. I'm still hoping this is going to be another episode, but let's move on. You got a promo and a story from Cowboy Colt, what is his name? McLean. I think McLean. Not McLeod. Or is it McLeod? Or McLean? I can't remember. But Cowboy Colt McLeod. No, I think McLeod. No, McLean. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But Cowboy Colt gets blinded by, guess what? Gamma Singh. Gamma Singh plays himself. And somebody else plays him. At least I think he's playing himself. No. Was it Raj Singh that was playing Gamma? I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention. I was just like, the month before, they have the match, and pretty much Cowboy Colt gets hit in the face with a flame. And that kind of reminds me of what happened with, who was it? When you saw, Sandman dealing with, I don't think it was Raven. It might have been Raven, I'm not sure. Or it could have been Tommy Dreamer. But I think it was Tommy Dreamer. And Sandman, where Sandman was blinded for almost a month or two. He was gone away, he came back. And this is what you kind of get with Cowboy Colt. He's saying he's blind, he may never see, he may lose his sight by 70%, but he wants revenge. And this match is something I think I haven't seen in a very long time that actually used to be real. It was a blindfold match. Really? I think I saw one when I was very young. I mean, you got in a bull rope match. I'm not sure if they had, I really do believe that was done once, where they basically blindfold themselves. But in this case, they put bags over their head. And they played up to it. they got the crowd participating to a certain extent. The Calgary crowd was probably burnt out because you know how these situations are where they're doing back-to-back tapings in sometimes a day or two. The crowd could have been burnt out by then because they weren't really heavily engaged. They tried to be, but I think they were tired. In the end, you got Colt winning. But let's see what's going to happen next. Particularly what happened when the Soviets came out, laid out Cowboy Colt with a chain, and what is this guy's name is Javati or Jabati. I'm sorry guys, I'm bad with names when something's new. Giovanni or Javini or Jinzo. I think that's it. Jimso. No, forget it. Pretty much, Scott DeMond comes out, playing the owner of the company, saying leave him alone. He gets laid out, and his son, Josh Mathews, is all upset, but doesn't go to save his dad. And after that, when it went to commercial, which was going to Melissa Santos on the stream, they come back, and pretty much he cuts a sweet promo saying, you know what, I'm sick and tired of this. I am not letting this go down like this. I paid a lot of money to make this for the Calgary crowd, for the people, for everyone here, and I'm going to get them. I'm going to take off my ring, I'm going to take off my chain, I'm going to take off my wrist, my watch, which very rarely is used, and I'm getting back in the ring and I'm going after them. That was a good promo. It was fun. And he also said, hey, if anybody want a hot dog, it's 1/2 off. There you go. He's trying to make money. It's still in my face. Still in my face. This is my face. I'm sorry. This show was just stupid. Stupid funny. In the end, we finally have a last match, which was Downtown Dada Brown versus the Cumberbund. Julian Cumberbund. At his side, Sammy Sanders in a Sami Callihan. This was an old school slow ass match. If you don't like slow stuff, you will not enjoy this show. It was almost slow as hell. The only person that did full blown fast stuff was Wiz. I think I gotta say this now before I move on to this and end it. When it comes to the Rascals, this was the funniest I've seen the Rascals since they became the Rascals. When these three guys came together, this is the funniest they've ever been. Flat out. And that is the most funniest they were. When you see this match, it was a good old school match. It was funny. It was stupid. In the end, you get the Cumberbund losing, the Sanders upset, and the Downtown Dada Brown is now the new the International Commonwealth TV champion of the Impact Prevail. I'm mispronouncing everything. Wrestling Federation. The IPWF. I messed this review up so bad. I'm sorry, guys. This was the most fun thing I've had seen in a long time. I didn't know what was going to happen here. I remember when I saw Andre's posting of this on his YouTube channel, and I thought it was funny, but I didn't know how far they were going to go with this. And it wasn't 100% balanced. It wasn't. It was a parody of the 70s, an homage of the 70s and 80s. It was meant to be funny. It was meant to be fun. I think those wrestlers had a blast playing different characters that was from the old 40 or 30 or 40 years ago. I know they had to have a blast doing it. And the best thing I can say for you guys, if you see this, just turn the mind off and just let the comedy happen. It was mainly just all comedy. It was fun. I'm kind of hoping to do another episode like this going into December, into January when they go back to their regular tapings, the normal Impact Wrestling. Because usually what we get around this time of year is we get maybe one more match and then we just get recaps of Impact throughout the year. And I'm truly hoping that this lasts all the way up into January when they restart their shows and restart the taping, because this will be a nice change. It will give people something different. It will. Of course, people are going to say, what the hell is this? but it doesn't mean it'll be bad. But this just is my point of view. If you guys hate the damn thing, you think I was stupid doing a review, laughing my butt off and not really giving a fair review, I'm sorry. You could tell me in the comments I was a freaking idiot. But just see it for what it was. It was fun. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.